Hi, my name is Declan.
And my name's Kanan. We are the Super Gilbert Brothers. In today's video, we just watched Across the Spider-Verse and we want to tell you all about it.
And we have new overall rankings.
Check it out now!
It's 2023 and we have a brand new Spider-Man movie.
Oh, and man, what a movie it is.
It was awesome.
And what perfect time to have a sequel for one of the greatest Spider-Man movies of all time.
The greatest.
And Declan's opinion, the greatest.
And that's actually in most people's opinions.
It's not a bad opinion.
I mean, that's a lot of people's opinions, a lot of kids' opinions as well.
Because it's a phenomenal movie. The first
is.
one we're talking about, of course, Into the Spider-Verse. And now we have a brand new sequel, Across the Spider-Verse. Originally,
not as good, but I still really like it.
I think you guys may disagree on if it's as good or not.
Yeah. We have some very big ideas, and they're pretty different.
All right, well, before we dive into the plot, let's talk about those overall feelings. Kanan, we can tell that you obviously love it. Let's start with Declan, though. What are your overall feelings of Across the Spider-Verse? I know it was kind of a hard watch for you. It was a very emotional movie.
He was really traumatized when we left the theater. He was like, I don't know if I like it. And like he even said when we got home that every other Spider-Man movie other than Spider-Man 3 was better than this. But now he totally disagrees. And he got through that traumatizement. He really thought about it.
Declan, one of the things I love about him, well, both of you, really, but it's just, you're both very deep thinkers. But Kanan, you tend to just do it out loud, whereas Declan, he really has to process things that he sees. And so it took him a few days. He's come back around. He does like it, but it was hard in the moment, right?
Oh, yeah. I was like really traumatized because of all the backstories and stuff like that.
Ending?
You had a hard time with the villain Spot because you felt bad for him.
He's the bagel guy.
I can't. When I heard his backstory, he was the one that got hit with the bagel. I was like, what?
That's a deep cut, right?
That's a really deep cut.
It also really scares me that like this all wouldn't have happened if he didn't bring the spider into that universe. Peter would still be Spider-Man.
Let's just dive right in. You guys seem ready. Let's just do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. On Earth 65, Gwen Stacy is struggling to live up to the expectations of her police captain father, who does not know that she is Spider-Woman. Years prior, Gwen accidentally killed her best friend, Peter Parker, while he was mindlessly rampaging as the Lizard. And the police have been hunting Spider-Woman ever since, not knowing Gwen's identity. One night, Gwen heads to the Guggenheim Museum in Manhattan after hearing reports of an intruder and encounters a version of the Vulture from an Italian Renaissance theme alternate universe.
That was. I had no idea what it was talking about. It was, and it was just.
It's funny how Gwen was not too surprised that this was just happening.
They had this whole meta commentary on art. It was pretty funny.
First weird villain in a movie, number one.
Yeah.
Very weird.
It was pretty funny. All right, Spider people Miguel O'Hara and Jess Drew arrive using portal generating watches and help Gwen subdue the Vulture. Gwen is confronted on the scene by her father and reveals her identity to him. Distraught at this revelation, he attempts to arrest her. She escapes through a dimensional portal with the others after Miguel begrudgingly grants her membership in the Spider Society.
Oh yeah, that part was really hard for me too because wow. Let me give you my thoughts about that part of the movie. Well, it was a lot to handle, like my dad said a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah.
I had to process it a lot, and it was unexpected. I did not expect that.
Even your mom gave out a little gasp whenever he started to try and arrest her.
It kind of feel like a punch in the gut when that happened.
Yeah.
It was really hard.
It was. Let me give you my thoughts about Miguel. So, I watched a video on YouTube about Miguel's origins.
Spider-Man 2099?
Yeah, it was cool.
Is he like a vampire? What's going on there?
Yeah, he's basically, so his weird backstory is that he has So he basically got Spider-Man powers in a different way than Peter. He wasn't exactly bit. He like had a weird genetic thing. I don't really remember, but it said that he was able to have powers of a vampire kind of / Spider-Man guy thing. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Spider-Man 2099. I need to do some research.
He's a pretty cool guy, but I think we would say most of the time he's a bad guy.
By the way, you guys can give us your thoughts about Miguel and if he's a villain.
Or just an antagonist.
I personally think he's one of the main antagonists.
Yes, I agree with you, Declan.
Alongside Spot, of course.
He's an antagonist, but I don't think he's a villain.
Spot is a villain, though.
Spot's a villain for sure. Yeah,
he's trying to get revenge.
He also was like rookie villain.
Villain of the week.
Yeah.
And he was also like, and when he was sucked into that like Alchemex thing in the other dimension, he was like, villain of the week? Not so much.
All right, let's get into that because you're skipping ahead.
Let's get back to the plot. Get back to the plot.
In Brooklyn on Earth 1610, 16 months after the destruction of the Alchemax Collider, Miles Morales is adapting to being Spider-Man while missing Gwen and struggling to live up to his parents' expectations. While heading to a parent-teacher evaluation, he encounters the Spot, a scientist whose body was infused with portals after the Alchemax Collider explosion. Blaming Miles for his dilemma, the Spot brings Miles to Alchemax and reveals that the spider that bit Miles came from another universe when the Spot was testing the Collider. He then accidentally transports himself into a void where he learns to travel to other universes containing the Alchemax Collider to use them to empower himself. That's a complicated villain setup.
That's complicated,
yeah.
but luckily, I understand it. Spot's backstory was really dramatic.
You had a hard time with it, yeah. It was upsetting. Well, you felt bad for him, how his family and all of his work, all the people he worked with were rejecting him after he was transformed into this weird...
Don't bring the spider into that Earth!
He also said his family wouldn't even look at him.
Yeah, and he wants to get back at Miles for this happening.
It's his fault that he became the Spot, though.
Listen, people...
It's not exactly his fault.
It is.
Villains don't want to hear about the mistakes they've made. They only want to hear about the mistakes that the good guys made, okay? That's all they care about.
The Spot, he's a really good bad guy. The Spot is a good bad guy. It's just really crazy, and he has spots that whenever something goes in, he gets a spot, and then he goes in it, and then he pops out somewhere else.
Gwen travels to Earth 1610 and reconnects with Miles, though she secretly tracks the Spot across dimensions. Miles secretly watches Gwen trace the Spot to Earth 50101 as Jess instructs Gwen to leave Miles behind. After Gwen opens a portal to Moonbottom, I think that's how you say it, Miles follows her and they team up with the Spider-Man Pavdir Prabhakar? I don't know.
It's so hard to say these words.
I know.
And Hobie Brown against the Spot, who successfully absorbs the power of that world's collider. Miles is struck with a vision of his father dying at the hands of the Spot before the Spot escapes. In the ensuing destruction of the collider, Miles saves the father of Pavi's girlfriend, a police captain, but Moonbottom begins falling apart from the disruption of a canon event. Members of the Spider Society arrive to assess the damage of the dimensional anomaly, while Miles, Gwen, and Hobie are sent to their headquarters on Earth 928, where hundreds of Spider People variants reside in a massive complex.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
Oh, and is it Hobie Spider-Punk?
Yeah.
Oh, Spider-Punk.
He is the funniest.
He's funny.
He's kind of funny how he helped Miles get out of that mess.
He helps Miles and Gwen both, yeah.
Yeah,
he's subversive.
He doesn't care. He just wants to help.
Power against the man.
He seems like he cares a lot more about Miles and Gwen than Miles and Gwen care about him.
And just before you move on, in this part of the movie, I was starting to feel a little bit better. Then I remembered all the stuff with the Spot because he came back and he absorbed the power of
Yep.
You had started to forget about the spot and all of that sadness, but then he showed back up and made you sad all over again.
And by the way, it was all the stuff about the spot made me so crazy.
All right, they meet up with Miguel and are joined by Peter B. Parker and his daughter, Mayday, as Miguel explains how each Spider-Man's...
Her name is Mayday?
Her name's Mayday. As Miguel explains how each Spider-Man story contains canon events, such as the death of a police captain close to Spider-Man, and that strain from those events threatens the fabric of the multiverse. So,
and Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben, yeah. Uncle Aaron for, some of them. Now, what'd you think about seeing Peter B. Parker back?
Uncle Aaron.
Yay!
For Miles, it was Uncle Aaron in the first movie.
Yeah, for Peter Parker, it's usually Uncle Ben.
Then when I watched the second movie, it felt like they knew they were inside like a book or a story, and they knew they had to follow some kind of storyline, and in the storylines, some relative or someone you know and love dies. It's when you know it's going to happen and you just let that happen, it just doesn't feel right.
Well, this is the whole dilemma of the movie, right? This is Spider-Man 2099's whole purpose is to keep the multiverse from unraveling, because these spider stories have to happen in certain ways. They have to have these canon events.
Yeah, but he's forgetting the point that you should still try and save everyone. That doesn't mean you can't just let them die.
Well,
you have to try.
But his worry is that Miles is an anomaly, and his very presence in any of these universes could potentially unravel the entire universe.
Yeah, but he's taking it too far on him.
Well, we know what side you're on.
It feels like he's the bad guy, but it actually feels like he's not and he is. Don't know if he's a villain or not.
Okay. When I heard Miles was an anomaly, I just didn't get it at first. But then when I heard he wasn't supposed to happen, the spider that came from another universe was
Earth 42, which we'll talk about later,
was supposed to bit that Miles or Peter Parker. I don't know.
I think it was supposed to be Miles because,
Maybe.
Miles realizes the death of his father, who is set to be promoted to police captain in 2 days, is a canon event. Miguel argues that with Miles before imprisoning him, but Hobie helps Miles break loose before using a portal to quit the Spider Society. Miguel orders all of the Spider people to apprehend Miles, resulting in a long, frenzied chase through the complex and surrounding city.
That was also pretty cool.
That was like the climax of the movie, huh?
The part when Miles just found out there's a lot of spider people that... It was amazing. I didn't know there's that much.
Miguel eventually pins Miles down and reveals Miles is the original anomaly, as he was never supposed to become Spider-Man, and that world the spider that bit him came from has no Spider-Man. Miles flees, and with the help of Margot Kest's spider bite, returns to what he believes is his home dimension. Miguel, seeing Gwen as a liability, ejects her from the Spider Society. Gwen reconciles with her father, who has decided to resign as a police captain. Realizing that his resignation is evidence that canon can be safely averted, Gwen decides to aid Miles, leaving Earth 65 with a bootleg portal watch that Hobie left for her. Miles thinks he's gone back to his universe. Gwen thinks he's gone back to his universe, but as we find out, as Miles returns to his apartment, he reveals to his mother that he is Spider-Man, whom she doesn't recognize. After glitching, encountering his deceased uncle Aaron Davis, and learning that his father has already died, Miles realizes that he is on Earth 42,
which is the world where Spider-Man didn't exist.
Yeah,
which is why. Give me a second. There was no Spider-Man in that universe, so that is why Miles' mom in that universe didn't know what he was talking about.
Exactly.
I had no idea.
We just clicked on video. There you go.
Congratulations, you just figured it out.
Yeah, because it's the home world of the spider that bit him. that came, through the portal during the whole Alchemex thing. So he got sent to the wrong universe because the Spider Society, whatever, that little machine detected the spider bite and sent him to the wrong universe.
And I feel like the thing is, they really hid this really well, and they had so many Easter eggs and references to this movie in Into the Spider-Verse. Whenever Miles goes to inspect the dead spider that is, now dead.
It was glitching.
Yeah. It was glitching, which meant it was in the wrong universe, right?
Which they did so well.
In the first movie, we didn't even know.
Right? It's like they knew the whole time that they were going to do this in the second movie. It felt like they were literally trying to make a sequel, and it felt really, really good. They did so well on the details of it.
Really makes you appreciate both of these movies even more, all these little details. Yeah. All right. Aaron interrogates Miles and is joined by the Miles of Earth 42, who has become the Prowler. Oh, no. So Miguel, Jess, and Ben Reilly / the Scarlet Spider travel to Earth 1610 in search of Miles just as the Spot arrives and begins his attack. After sending Ben to another dimension and speaking with Miles' parents on Earth 1610, Gwen assembles a spider team to find Miles, consisting of Peter B., Mayday, Pavi, Hobie, Margot, Spider-Man Noir, Penny Parker, and Spider-Ham.
Yes!
Awesome! But I was just excited to see the gang back together.
Yeah.
All back together. And
like Spider-Man Noir, I would have loved him back to talk.
It was
He's my favorite
awesome.
in Into the Spider-Verse. He's my favorite of the 3 side Spider-Man.
And that's how it ends. A cliffhanger. We won't get the final piece of the trilogy until next year.
Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Which is so exciting.
Yeah, like what happens next? What goes next? What happens? Because we don't know what happens after Miles is kidnapped by himself.
Okay, can you go back to your
it's really cool. Like, now we have 3 villains that could be in Beyond the Spider-Verse. Obviously, Spot. And Miguel is most likely going to be a villain in the movie. An
antagonist.
He's an antagonist. He's not a villain.
He set him up as an antagonist in the first movie, but I feel like in the second movie, well, basically the third, they're going to set him up as an actual villain who's actually trying to stop Miles from doing anything.
We'll see about that.
And then
I'm just excited to see what Spot actually does.
And then now we have the Prowler and Uncle Aaron.
It's going to be crazy. Okay, so now that we've seen Across the Spider-Verse, we thought, hey, might be good to update our overall Spider-Man movie ranking.
Across the Spider-Verse is my second favorite. It's really good.
These are a look at our original top. Well, actually, our whole list, because I've added where we've slotted in Across the Spider-Verse. As you can see,
you put Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse at number 3.
I put it 3. You and Declan both put it at number 2. So here's our new overall rankings. Really not much change until we get down to the low numbers. This is our original 2022 rankings. We'll just show those again.
Yeah, so number 9, Spider-Man 3. Number 8, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Number 7, Spider-Man 2. Number 6, The Amazing Spider-Man. Number 5, Spider-Man. Number 4, Spider-Man Far From Home. Number 3, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Number 2, Spider-Man Homecoming. And number 1, No Way Home. And that's, there's no way that it's changed the slotting for No Way Home.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Because,
we'll see.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Our new 20...
You didn't change it just because of some weird revenge thing.
I didn't do anything. I just put the numbers in and they fell where they fell, okay? Our new 2023 Spider-Man rankings.
Show it right now.
Number 10. Spider-Man 3.
No surprise, we all did it.
Number 9.
Not me, though.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Number 8.
Should have been.
Spider-Man 2, which is really low. I think
I don't
a lot of people,
either. I don't understand that either.
I think a lot of people would disagree with this.
I would put The Amazing Spider-Man 2 here and then put Spider-Man 2
I just don't like Spider-Man 2 as much as I used to like it after a recent rewatch. But
why?
I just don't. Number 7. The Amazing Spider-Man.
It's a weird
which is Everly's favorite. Number 6. Spider-Man, the one that started it all.
Oh, yeah.
Number 5. Spider-Man Far From Home.
Not too surprising.
Number 4.
Spider-Man
Into the Spider-Verse.
Not the best ranking.
Yeah, that's your number 1 movie, I know. Number 3, Spider-Man Homecoming. So it's gone down from 2 to 3. The new number 2 is Across the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man No Home still first. That's
which
so good.
means number 1 is still
Come on.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
Dude.
Yeah!
But hey, that just tells you how good Across the Spider-Verse is. It came all the way
to number 2.
This
series, it has a really, really good start. And I feel like the third movie, there's no way it's going to be bad. I feel like since they made it both at the same time, so they know if the second one's really good, then the third one's really going to be good as well.
Declan, I feel like you like Across the Spider-Verse even more now after we talked about it. You had some major revelations in this conversation. Yeah, it was good. I want to see it again. It's
so badly. In theaters. Maybe XD. That would be so cool.
It's a beautiful movie. I mean, just
let's watch it in XD. That would be incredible.
Well, I'm gonna need you all to get jobs so we can afford those tickets, okay?
Thanks for watching our new review on Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and our updated rankings on the Spider-Man movies.
And be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell down below, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Thanks for Thanks for watching. Bye.